Hey everyone, how's it going? Azrin here, owner of the Calgary Language Nerds, and welcome to today's Learn Gujarati with Me podcast episode and YouTube video. Today we're going to look at another past tense in Gujarati, which is the imperfect past tense. Yesterday we looked at the simple past tense, which is over here in this tab. This is what we looked at yesterday. Today we're going to focus most of our time on this imperfect past. Now, before we do that, there's a little tiny nuance I'd like to point out in the simple past tense first. The simple past tense has two categories of conjugation. The first category is what is called transitive verbs. That is like 98% of all verbs in Gujarati. Almost all of them follow the exact rules that we covered in the previous lesson. But there's a very small selection of verbs that work a little bit differently. We're not going to spend a tremendous amount of time on it today. I'm just going to show you quickly how that works. So intransitive verbs, that's the second category of the simple past tense. There's a very small number of them. This pretty much is almost all of them. There are others, but this is a significant percentage of them. Went, came, woke up, walked, ran, danced, laughed or smiled, swam, slept, arrived, cried, fell. We could even add flew if you wanted to, but that's pretty much it. It's the vast majority of them. And you'll notice for all of these, there is no object. There's no noun after the verb. If we look at the other ones we looked at in yesterday's lesson, you'll notice there's always a noun. I ate an apple. Apple is a noun. I saw a movie. A movie is a noun. I gave a gift. A gift is a noun. In these intransitive ones here, there's no real noun. If there is a noun, it's because you went to somewhere. I went to work. I came to my home, right? And that's a little bit different. Like that just doesn't, it's just this separate category. But the vast majority of the time, I woke up, no noun. I walked, no noun. I ran, no noun. I danced, no noun. There's no noun directly after the verb. So that's kind of the main difference. So when we do these here, it's pretty much the same rules as the other simple past we looked at yesterday. The primary difference is that in this, we're going to use different subject pronouns. We're going to use hu as opposed to me. We're going to use tu as opposed to te. We're going to use e as opposed to ene. We're going to use ame and apne. Actually, ame and apne stay the same, so that's easy. Tame is the same, that's easy. Eloko as opposed to eloko e. So what I'll do for today, we're not going to spend, as I said, we're not going to spend a lot of time on this. I'll just show you the practice exercises. Feel free to pause the video, work through them, try to do them on your own. So here's page 1. Here's the answer key. Feel free to pause and have a look, see if you got it right. You'll notice that there's two variants, gayo and gai, or avyo and avi. Uttyo, utti, chalyo, chali, so on and so forth. That's just masculine and feminine. So if you were a man, you would say hu kame gayo, hu ghare avyo, hu uttyo, hu chalyo, hu doryo. If you're a woman, you're going to say I, hu gai, hu avi, hu utti, hu chali, hu dori, hu nachi. Let's go down to the next one here. Feel free to give these a try. So pause the video, try to translate these. Here's the answer key. Again, you'll notice two variants. There's a masculine and feminine variant. If the you in the sentence, like you went to work, you came home, you woke up, if the you that you are talking to is a man, it's going to be gayo, avyo, uttyo, chalyo. It's going to be the masculine variant. If the person you are talking to, the you in question, is a female, you're going to have gai, avi, utti, chali, so on and so forth, the feminine variant. By the way, I do have in my grammar playlist on the YouTube channel, I do have some videos where I go into this in far more depth. Feel free to go to the grammar playlist. You can find anything on the simple past. I explain this in far more depth. Okay, try this. Here's simple past with just e, so he and she. Here's the answer key. So you'll notice here we have 3 different possible answers. We have masculine. That's the first one in the set. Gayo, avyo, uttyo, chalyo. We have gai, or The feminine variant, gai, avi, utti, chali, dori, all the I endings. And then you'll have ya endings. Gaya, avya, utya, chalya, dorya, nachya, hasya, tarya. Those ya endings is if you're being respectful. So you're talking to someone and you want to show them respect. So the he and she in question is maybe older than you, they're a stranger, so you're showing them respect. Okay, we'll try ame and apne. That's the word for we. Give these a try. Pause the video, try to translate these. Okay, here's the answer key. Oh, I don't have, oh yes, I do have it. Perfect. I do. Typo over here. All right, that's the answer key. You'll notice these are all with a ya ending because we're in the plural. In the plural, we always use ya pretty much. Okay, tame for try these for tame. This is the you but formal, so give these a try. Here's the answer key. Again, you'll notice lots of ya endings here. Gaya, avya, utya, chalya, dorya. Because again, for respectful and for plural, we use ya as the ending. Lastly, we have the word for they, eloko. Pause the video, try these here. Okay, here's the answer key. Again, lots of ya endings because we are in the plural, as always. So that's that. Again, it's pretty similar. Let me start my screen share. It's pretty similar to yesterday's lesson. So feel free to watch yesterday's lesson. It's really similar. It's very similar. It's not that different. The primary difference is that we don't have a noun in these sentences. We don't have an object. And so because we don't have an object, the gender of the verb depends on the person. Is it you or I, he, she, right? Is it a feminine person? Is it a man? Is it a woman? Is it respectful? Is it plural? That's what really influences the conjugation of our verb. If it's your first time watching, by all means, this might be a little bit advanced. Feel free to go back to some earlier lessons and watch through those. But yeah. All right, let's move on to our other past tense. This is where we're going to spend the bulk of today's video. So Gujarati has two different past tenses. We have a simple past tense, which we've now covered, and we did last time as well. And we also have an imperfect past tense. For those of you who maybe speak Spanish or French or other Romance languages, this will be a little bit of an easier concept for you because, well, this concept exists in these languages. So the imperfect past tense in English, we don't have it. We use it for a variety of different things. We use it for was doing, like was speaking, was working, was listening, was singing, was walking. We use it for used to. I used to speak, I used to work, I used to sing, I used to walk, I used to watch something. And then we also use it for every time we have the word every week, every month, heck, even every day, every second, every minute, every summer, every winter, every season, every anything. We also use this imperfect past tense. Again, we don't have a great equivalent in it in English, so you just have to remember there's three different usages. Every something, every week, every day, every hour, every month, every whatever. Used to, the term used to, you used to do something, but not anymore. And was doing, was walking, was swimming, was working, was speaking, so on and so forth. So we've covered this before, and you've probably done a lot of listening and reading by the time you're at this lesson on the YouTube channel. So I'll let you try these on your own, and then we'll look at the answer key. So pause the video, give these a try. Okay, let's go through the answers together. So these are all for who. Let's zoom in. So the first one, there we go. The first one here is who French bolto hato. I was speaking French. If it was a female, who French bolti hati. I was working, who kam karto hato. That's masculine. Who kam karti hati if you're a female. Who gato hato. I was singing, that's male. Who gati hati, that is, I was singing female, if I were a woman, for example. Who chalto hato, I was walking masculine. Who chalti hati, I was walking feminine. Who TV jhoto hato, I was watching TV masculine. Who TV jhoti hati, I was watching TV feminine. Who French bolto hato, who French bolti hati, I used to speak French. So notice, right? Who French bolto hato or who French bolti hati could mean I was speaking French. It also could mean I used to speak French. It's the exact same meaning. One sentence in Gujarati has two possible meanings in English. Right? So I used to work, હું કામ કરતો હતો, masculine, હું કામ કરતી હતી, feminine. I used to sing, હું ગાતો હતો, masculine, હું ગાતી હતી, feminine. I used to walk, હું ચાલતો હતો, હું ચાલતી હતી, masculine, feminine. હું TV જોતો હતો, I was watching TV. હું TV જોતી હતી, I was watching TV, feminine. So it's the same sentence for both, just a different meaning, I suppose, in English. Also, we have over here every week or every month. So every week could be dar atvarye. Every month, dar maine. Dar atvarye, dar maine. So every week. So if I said, for example, I don't have it written here, but if I said, I spoke French every day, not I was speaking French, not I used to, but I spoke French every day, because we have every day in the sentence, we're still going to say, on roj, I every day, French bolto hato. Or if I was female, on roj French bolti hati. As a pronunciation note for these sentences, these ha's are going to often be swallowed. This ha over here. So it might sound like hu French bolto to, hu French boltiti, hu kam karto to, hu kam kartiti, hu gato to, hu gatiti, hu chalto to, hu chaltiti, hu TV joto to, jotiti, so on and so forth. Okay, let's try with tu. That's the imperfect. That's the what's that? The informal word for you. Oh, I've written I, should be you. Let's change those now. So as I change those, you can work on them. These all say I, but they should say you. So you were, oh my goodness. There we go. You were speaking French, right? You were working. Let me just pause the recording and fix them. Okay, they are all now fixed. Oh, there you look at the answers. Oh no, don't look at the answers. Perfect. Okay, perfect. So here they are. Pause the video, give these a try, then we'll look at the answer key. Okay, here's the answer key. So again, pretty straightforward. This is pretty much the same as I. Tu French bolto to, tu French bolti thi, tu kaam karto to, tu kaam karti thi, tu gato to, tu gati thi. So again, it's the exact same as the who forms, except now all the who changed to tu. So I was speaking French, who French bolto to, masculine, who French bolti thi, feminine. You were speaking French, instead of who French bolto to, tu French bolto to, tu French bolti thi. You can see that very clearly on the screen. So tu French bolto to, tu kaam karto to, tu gato to, tu chalto to, tu TV joto to, tu French bolto to, tu kaam karto to. And you'll notice that I'm swallowing these ha's every time, right? So it's karto to, bolto to, kato to, whatever, so on and so forth. And again, in the feminine, we have the hati forms, boltiti, so on and so forth. Okay? Feel free to pause and read through these at your own pace. Let's look at the he's and she's. So pause here, try to work through these. Now I'll give you a little hint here. For the he and she, you're gonna have three different options, not two. So that's a little hint as you work through these. You're gonna have the masculine option, you're gonna have the feminine option, and you're gonna have the respectful option. Okay, let's look at the answer key. So now we have three different options for each one. E French bolto to, he was speaking French, masculine. E French boltiti, she was speaking French. E French boltata, he or she was speaking French, but showing them respect. And again, as before, if we switch to the used to, like he used to speak French or she used to speak French, e French, it's still the same thing. E French bolto to, e French boltiti, e French boltata. I'll read each of these out just so you can hear the pronunciation one more time, then we'll look at the next page. So he was speaking French. So he or she was speaking French. E French bolto to, e French boltiti, e French boltata. He or she was working. E kam karto to, e kam kartiti, e kam kartata. He or she was singing. E gato to, e gatiti, e gatata. He or she was walking. E chal toto, e chal titi, e chal tata. He or she was watching TV. E TV jhototo, e TV jhotiti, e TV jhotata. He or she used to speak French. Same thing. E French bol toto, bol tata, bol titi. So we're not going to read all of these, but you get to hear the pronunciation. As a reminder, for every week or every month, every anything, day, week, minute, month, season, doesn't matter, right? It's going to be also in this imperfect tense. The word for every is dar. So dar atvarye, dar maine, dar whatever time period, unare, whatever, like whatever time word you want to put in there. Okay, next one here is we, ame apne. Now, ame apne, we're going to have the plural version. So we only have one option for these here. It is actually worth mentioning. I think of it. This is actually a possibility. So often in Gujarati, I think this depends a little bit on dialect, but I think for Gujarati, I'd say for the majority of people, for the feminine, they don't care if it's singular or plural. So feminine plural and feminine singular is the same. So if you had ame apne and you're referring to like a group of women, you would just treat it the same as the singular. Now, the vast majority of the time when you use ame apne, it's generally going to be mixed gender for the most part. And honestly, even if it wasn't mixed gender, I still feel like if you just did like a typical plural conjugation, I think it's still perfectly fine. Like it's actually still fine. So I think it's easier just to view this as plural. I think it's a simpler way to view it. So let's look at the answer key. Again, nothing crazy, pretty straightforward. Ame or apne, boltata, kartata, gatata, chaltata, so on and so forth. Pretty straightforward stuff here. Okay, last page. So this is the imperfect past. Oh, sorry, second last page with tame. Tame also only has one option because it's the respectful option. And the respectful option is the same as the plural option. So feel free to work through these. Here's the answer key. Again, nothing crazy here. Tame French boltata, tame kam kartata, tame gatata, tame chaltata, tame TV jhotata, so on and so forth. Okay, and again, these are, it's funny. It's funny as I'm like looking at these. There's actually more. Good thing we're doing this video. We can like fix some of the silly typos. Let's fix it here. Bam, we fixed it. Cool. We have the used to's now. Okay. Last one is the eloko. Eloko is also plural, so pretty straightforward. Pause the video, give it a try. Should be easy at this point. Okay, final page. Here's the answer key. Again, nothing crazy here. This should be really straightforward. So as a summary, let's summarize here. Yesterday, we looked at the simple past tense. The vast majority of verbs in Gujarati with the simple past tense are going to follow the rules that we covered yesterday. That's the bulk, the meat and potatoes of the simple past tense. Today, we looked at a very small exception to the simple past tense, like a very, very small exception. We rarely have to worry about this one. There's a very small number of verbs that follow these rules, but slightly different rule set, slightly different, but not that bad, honestly. And then, of course, we have the imperfect past tense, which we looked at today. And the imperfect past tense, we don't have it in English. We instead split it into multiple different categories. We have was doing something. We have used to do something. And then we have every week or every month repeatedly doing something. And that's really how we use that imperfect past tense. For those that have a more advanced level, I will, if you do, I'll share a couple of little nuances. These are completely optional. Like if you don't do them, if you didn't even know them, it doesn't make a difference. But if you're more advanced or you want to get some more advanced knowledge, anytime you want to say used to, like I used to work, I used to speak, one option you have that also works very well is you can just drop the hatto or the hati. So hu bolto, and I drop the hatto, that means I used to speak. Hu kam karto, that means I used to work. That's like another option, kind of a more advanced optional way to say used to. And then one last advanced optional thing, which honestly, I could even have put this right in the beginning of the video. Now, even yesterday, I could have said this, frankly. In our simple past tense, if you wanted to, if you wanted to, you're welcome to add hatu, hato, hata. You're welcome to add those into these sentences. So, like, I ate an apple. You could say, मैं सफरजन खाधु हतु. मैं फिल्म જોઈ હતી. मैं भेट આપી હતી. मैं ગઈકાલે કામ કર્યું હતું. मैं અવાજ સાંભળ્યો હતો. Right? मैं podcast સાંભળ્યું હતું. And that is pretty much the same meaning. In the grammar textbook, looking at a sentence like मैं सफरजन खाधु हतु, if I add that in, that hatu, if I add that in, it's technically another tense. It's technically called the past perfect tense, which in English would translate to I had eaten an apple, or I had seen a movie, I had given a gift, I had worked, I had heard a noise, so on and so forth. But in regular, the way people actually talk in Gujarati, they don't differentiate. So me safarjan khadu and me safarjan khadu hatu, it's the same meaning in 99.99999% of circumstances when we're actually using Gujarati in a real life way. Okay, so that's our grammar video for today. Hope you enjoyed those drills. I will see you in the next lesson. Aujo, bye.